Hey, welcome back. Remember that old song? Most of you probably aren't old enough to remember that. Welcome back, Carter. Cotter. Welcome back. I try to play it in here if I can. If YouTube will let me. Anyhow, I was reading the 1599 Geneva Bible just on Bible Gateway. I still got to buy one. And then I got like a 1560 Geneva Bible, which has all 82 books of the Bible. Well, my Bible my whole life has only had 66 books. That's always bothered me. That it's just, because the Mark of the Beast is 666, but there's 66 books in the devil's numbers in the Bible. Uh, but if you don't know, the Bible was originally there was hundreds. It was just made up of hundreds of letters and some books. We called the books of Moses and Torah. We actually had those written down on animal skin and things. And then when they finally created a Bible, there were the religious scholars of the day. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of documents, and they chose 66 of those to make a Bible out of thousands. Now it all comes together wonderfully. All the books kind of bleed in if you study it all. But this I kind of found on accident. I was just reading the Geneva Bible, like I said online. I think it was yesterday, and then I caught the little note, like it'll give you a little letter with the note, and I actually read it. Um, So the beginning of sorrow is what I'm going to talk about today in Matthew 24:7. Because in Matthew 24, that's when the 12 apostles ask Jesus, "What will be the sign of your return?" And he lets them know what the signs will be, and he calls this the beginning of sorrows. Um, the beginning of sorrow. So we're not even to the beginning of sorrows yet. I mean, we're close. But anybody out there telling you it's going to be okay, um, needs a reality check. I mean, it's going to be okay when comes back. It's going to be marvelous. But until then, we're going to be under persecution. 140 of our brothers and sisters got beheaded on Christmas Day in Africa, if you didn't know that, just for being Christian. The Muslims beheaded them. Happens daily. You never hear about it over here in the West. It happens daily over there. And we better watch out because the Muslims are taking over here. If it hasn't already happened over here, like just, and actually I have seen instances of that, not beheading, but of persecution. It's coming. You better believe that is coming to the United States, and you better do some soul searching to stock food, uh, get things to protect your family. Jesus told Peter, and um, after he was resurrected, he said, first he told him, don't take a purse or coins or money with you. You go, I'll be with you and I'll provide. Then he says, now, I think this is in Luke, he says, now I tell you to take your purse and money with you, and even more, to go sell your cloak or sell your extra coat and buy two swords. And then Peter comes back, or one of the disciples says, I've done this. Says, because I will not be going with you this time. So, I mean, he goes with a sense of comfort with us, but let's find that. I think it's in Luke. But anyway, today, yeah, he's talking about the beginning of sorrows, and just happened to notice that the little letter, and then you note, and you go down to the Bible, where it talks about earthquakes and pestilence. And if you don't know what pestilence actually means, uncurable disease. So we had one of those recently, where it's been earthquakes in diverse places. This one actually says diverse places. Some of them say diverse places. It translates maybe say various places. But the actual translation, the original, was everywhere. This is the beginning of sorrows. When you see earthquakes, pestilence, and famine. Famine is no food. And are we seeing? Well, look at the attack on farmers that the globalists are. That just proves the globalists are Satan's minions, obviously, because they're just punking on humans, trying to get you to starve to death. I mean, they're if you're paying attention, you can see all the signs. CBDC, central bank digital currency. The implant is going to be the implant in your right hand, the little rice chip. And you can look that up. We've done several videos on it. The WEF, who has 666 in their logo, by the way, will tell you it's going to be your library card, your bank account, everything, your driver's license, all that. It's going to be no more need for ID because this is why they're creating. This is why the borders were open 3.5 years, and they just now signed an executive order yesterday to, well, they are saying to close the border, but it actually made sure it's going to stay open forever, is what they actually signed. So um, that is why they're in Europe. It's not just here. Look over Europe. London is totally Muslim now. London, they've taken over London as they gave up their guns, and now they are getting killed in the streets. Women are getting raped, beat, pushed on the subway trains, just like here in the United States, because they hate you. They hate us. They want they're and don't let and I don't care. They'll lie right to your face and tell you they love you and all this. Their false god, their Satan, their Mahdi cannot come until they kill all the Christians and Jews. That's what the Muslims think. If you're a true Muslim, then you're not a true Muslim if you don't think that, because that's what your Quran teaches, or you haven't read it. And you better believe they do, because they pray every day and they go to church way more than you do. They know this. And trust, they'll be praying in your school. They've already taken over your schools. They've taken over your schools. They'll be praying in them soon. They've already converted most of your kids. If you guys got kids college age, you better ask them what religion they're, because they may be going to hell. Now, Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. Not the Muslim Jesus. Muslims have a Jesus. Did you know that? Catholics have a Jesus. It's not the Jesus Christ on the cross. There is one Jesus Christ that died on the cross. His name wasn't Mary, and his name wasn't Muhammad. But they actually have a Jesus, and the Muslims think that Jesus will actually come back. And it's the same thing the Satanists preach, that Jesus will come back and say he lied, and then hand the keys over to Satan, or in their case, the Mahdi. Neither one will happen. When he comes over, an angel, it says, and I like how Mario Morello puts it, an angel puts Satan in chains and puts a lock on him and puts him into hell for 1,000 years. Then he's released at the end of the 1,000-year reign. A lot of people don't know that. That's Revelation verse 20. And then you have the Gog Magog war. And I've done videos on that. It's because we're in physical bodies during the millennial reign. That's easily proven through the Bible. So I made this video too long already, but that's what this is about and getting into. So we are just now entering into the beginning of sorrows. It's only going to get worse from here on out. So you better stay close to Jesus and get right with Jesus and your family. You're going to need all the help you can get to get through these end times. So may God be and Jesus be with you. Geneva Bible. Let's see if I have this up here. For those of you who don't know, the Geneva Bible is the actual first Christian Bible ever printed. And it was printed in 1599. They started writing in 1560. But basically, you can do a search on it. Basically, the story behind this is before 1599, the Catholic Church had murdered everybody who tried to write a Bible, besides the Catholic Church. Because, of course, we all know they are the one true pagan church, and they are not the one true Church of Jesus Christ, because they once beheaded Christians, and they're um, coming together to do it again, to build the churches with the Muslims and the Jewish people, the Abraham. I'll just show you. Let me show you this. I'll show you that. So Matthew 24, where they asked Jesus, what will be the signs of your return? And this Geneva Bible gives you a lot more information. It kind of reads like the King James Bible. Like I said, this was the first original Christian Bible that the people didn't get murdered by the Catholic Church for writing, but because they stood up. And there's a little fun fact for you. Did you know when the United States came into being that Catholicism was actually outlawed in the United States for the first few years, along with the English version of Christianity, king, because there's like Russia has their own Christianity. They got like another whole Holy Mother Christian church is different than the Catholic Orthodox Christian than the like. That's why we left Europe and came here to start this country because of 27 biblical violations among the leaders over there. So anyway, take heed, no one deceives you. Let's see, here we go. Okay, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation. This is a new one that I've never read. And realm against realm. I like that. Like spiritual realm. So nation shall rise against nation, and realm against realm. There shall be famine and pestilence. Pestilence is uncurable disease. And earthquakes in divers places. This actually says divers places. And I've actually heard preachers say, there's going to be underwater earthquakes. And no. In your New King James or any of your newer Bibles, it probably says diverse in diverse places. Then you have this little, you ever see this little letter by it? And you scroll down to see what that letter means, little note. And it was D, so 24/7, everywhere. So where will there be pestilence and earthquakes? Where are we at here? Okay. Everywhere. I lost my, it was 17. 7. It's early. Okay. Shall be famine, pestilence, earthquakes everywhere. Reads a little different when you read it like that. So I don't know why they did all the other. But if you go down here, they got a lot of information in this one. Like the abomination of desolation. The abomination of desolation, that is to say, which all men detest and cannot abide by reason of the foul and shameful filthiness of it. And he speaketh of idols that were set up in the temple, or as others think, he meant the mourning of the doctrine in the church. Anyway, so I'll show you this. This is the first original Christian Bible. This is the closest we can get to, I guess, the letters that we had, because we don't know how they created the Bible. Uh, the Torah, the books of Moses, the religious leaders, they want to label that the Pentateuch, which is just the first 4 books of the Bible. That's another thing. They want to name everything. You go, that's why God wouldn't let me go to seminary, because I tried. And when he called, it was like, name everything. Apologetics or hermeneutics, all this. They're more into the religious part of it than Jesus. They're more worried about worshiping religion than Jesus. I'm sorry to say that, but that's how most churches are. So the Abrahamic family house in Dubai. So sorry if any of you saw my video last week where I mentioned this. I'm going to cover it again. But they're building, it's probably already done. It's supposed to have been done in 2023, but they have had some crazy weather over there. It's rained frogs. Streets have turned to rivers. Oh, it's an actual picture here. Yeah, it may be up in, oh yeah, okay, the book of visit now. Diverse in our face, common in our humanity, together in peace. Okay, so this is a little, okay, about this. The Abrahamic family house welcomes people to connect, explore, and reflect. We serve to deepen understanding of our common humanity through mutual dialogue, exchange of knowledge, and the practice of faith. Well, so long story short, there you go. Your one world religion. So you got your Catholics, You got your Jewish people, and then you got your Muslims. All together, one world faith. Now, this is what's strange, huh? Because Muslims behead Christians, but they don't behead Catholics. So that ought to tell you right there that Catholics are not Christians. Because we do not worship Mary, we do not worship statues. Paganism is the where Roman Catholic Church came from. This little one right here is the Jewish building. Now, I looked these up, but I already could tell you just by the shapes. Because you see, this is a downward shaped pyramid, this one. Then right next to it, you got an upward shaped pyramid. On the top of this, they even have a pyramid. This is the Jewish temple. This one that looks like a Catholic church because it has all these phallic symbols, and that's what this is. This is a symbol for the male sex symbol. This is the male. This is the male. This is the male sex symbol, the phallic. Several times in this building, but this is the Muslim building. This is the Jewish building. No, I'm sorry. This is the Jewish building. This is the Muslim building. This is the Catholic building here. Where's the Christian church? Yeah, we're all beheaded because this is the one world in time satanic church right here. Hate to tell you, if you're in any of these three religions, you can see Satan is not bothered at all by your little religions. Now, this could be Mystery Babylon. I always kind of thought the United States was. Then the whole time, people thought it was the Catholic Church, and I still think it could be the Vatican Catholic Church. But Babylon was a city with tall towers, and the mystery, because Babylon was originally Iraq. So, but the mystery Babylon is not, because if you look in the Bible, it's not necessarily where it used to be, because mystery Babylon. Because God Himself called Israel Sodom and Gomorrah. Spiritual. He called the place that is spiritually called Sodom and Gomorrah. He said that about His own children, the Jewish children, in the book of Isaiah. It's in there, you can look it up. But that is very interesting. Whether you read whatever Bible you read, I suggest, if you like, I would start paying attention because I never did either. I'll start paying attention to these letters and go down and read what they mean because there's a lot of the Bible that got put in. Look at all these. This is a whole page of stuff here. So, excuse me. So just something very interesting I found. So everybody out there telling me that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. No, the United States is going to make a comeback. And all that. Don't count on it. Don't count on it. For nation shall rise against nation, realm against realm. There shall be famine, uncurable disease, and earthquakes everywhere. And these are the beginning of sorrows. Let's just see what sorrows. Sorrows is E. So let's look at E. Sorrows. Word for word of great torments, like unto women in travail. The gospel shall be spread abroad. Rage the devil, never so much, and they with do constantly believe shall be saved. That's 24:13. That's pretty interesting. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Now, this is me. I apologize. This is what's happened to me over the last 30 years. Because I started out good. Man, I was just like, I was one of those nice guys. And the world just beat that out of me. And because iniquity shall be increased, the love of many shall grow cold. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Yes, it is. Somebody called me out on that yesterday. So, yes, you're 100% right. That is what's happened to me. But so beaten down by the world and the devil and the minions and the Democrats that my love is growing cold. But Jesus working on it. Not much I can do about it. I forgive. And I'll move on. But Okay, well, I gotta go. I gotta go volunteer. Hopefully, get feeling better at the food bank today. So I hope you all have a great day, and may Jesus bless you. Thanks for watching.